Good morning, good people. Good morning, good people. First of all, give honor and glory to God, who's the head of my life, His Son, Jesus Christ. First of all, give honor and glory to God, who's the head of my life through His Son, Jesus Christ. This morning I woke up, man, and I was praying. It was probably like 3:30 this morning. Hold up. Before I start, tomorrow is my pre-birthday celebration at the Tinderbox, 2754 Crane Highway. Doors open at 6. The first artist going to speak at 7. Neo Soul Night, live spoken word. It's going to be amazing. It's only 25 tickets left. I'm only selling 40. 25 tickets left. Get your tickets. Good morning, Kim. Don't wait. All right, now into the message. I woke up this morning and I was talking to God about love, and about this season that we've been going through, because this whole season, from the time COVID hit, has been testing your love for one another. Either testing your love for your family, your children, your wife, your boyfriend, your fiance. It's been a test, right? Because some of us have been spending more time with the person than we truly, than we're used to, spending with them. So let me say this. What is love? What is love to you? What is love to you, and what has been your example of love for you to follow? I've learned in my life that if you haven't been properly loved by your mom and your dad, you don't have a clue of what love is. Some of you have seen, like me, for instance, my example of man when I was growing up was my brother. So everything that my brother did in his relationships, I mimicked that as I locked it in my brain as that's what love is. Well, my brother was blinded because he didn't have anyone to show him what love is, so he made a million mistakes, and in return, he taught me. So my brother ran around, he had multiple women, and, he didn't respect them, and, just had this woman, that woman, this woman, that woman. And that right there was love to me, right? So I realized in 2008, when I was incarcerated, I realized that's not what love is. That's because I wasn't properly loved by both parents. So a lot of y'all don't think that makes a difference. When you have a child, right? When you have a child and you just have a baby daddy or a baby mother, and there's no unison, there's no cohesion, there's no chemistry, there's going to be two different ways of love that this child has to decipher and say which one is real, which one which example of love am I supposed to follow, and really not putting you at fault, because a lot of us wasn't taught how to love, so it's impossible for us to teach our child. Yesterday, I was at the laundromat, and I seen a young lady, which I call her a circumstantial lover. She was at the laundromat, and she was with her son. And for some reason, single moms, the first thing you do when you have a son, the first thing you try to teach them is to try to teach them how to be tough. Single moms, listen. From me to you, please refocus. This is my opinion. Stop trying to teach your son how to be tough and try to teach him how to communicate. If you teach your son how to communicate, you won't have to worry about teaching him how to be tough. Teach your son how to communicate, or be a victim of what you don't teach him. Because if you don't teach your... Good morning, Queen. If you don't teach your son how to communicate, you're going to be a victim of him not knowing how to communicate. This lady yesterday, she was talking to this young man so bad. She was cussing him out. She was like, everything she said to him was aggressive. So in turn, in my opinion, she's going to put a broken product out into society. He's going to hate women, and he's going to try to use every woman that he come across. He's going to take his hatred for his mother out on these women. She didn't even give him a chance to talk. Every question she asked, she came back with an insult or a slander. That's not love. And she kept saying, you're not going to be soft. You're not going to be soft. That boy is going to be an animal, and he's going to be an animal for the wrong reasons. And that mother is going to pay for the way she raised him. Again, when we don't have the proper love from our parents, right? When we don't have the proper love from our parents or our peers, we end up learning how to love through failed relationships, failed tries. And some of us, in the midst of our search for love or what love really is, we get hurt so bad sometimes that we just give up. We just give up on love. This is the reason why there's a lot of single men out here today, because they have no understanding of what love is. I didn't have an understanding of what love is. So listen, you have to ask yourself, do I even know how to love? Do I even know how to receive love? Because some of you are mimicking what grandma and granddaddy had, but that what grandma and granddaddy had worked for grandma and granddaddy in their time, in their era. The way they loved each other, that worked for them and their relationship and their relationship only. The way grandma and grandma loved, it don't work. It might not work for you. It might not work for you. So your example of love, grandma and granddad been married 50 years. Okay, cool. Thank you. Shout out to grandma and granddad. But at the end of the day, the way you seen them love each other might not work for you. The way grandma and granddad love it, they don't work in these times. Granddad goes out, work all the hours. Grandma stay home and take care of the household. That doesn't work today. That doesn't work today. Why you think that most of you are more closer to your grandmother than your granddad? Because grandma was home all the time. In today's society, the way the economy is set up, we can't operate off the love that we saw. We can't operate off what grandma and granddaddy did. That's not going to work for us. So at the end of the day, a lot of us have entered and came out of relationships because we don't really know how to love. I was 33. No, I wasn't. I was 28 when I realized the way I've been loving people wasn't the right way. When I was incarcerated and I was getting the letters from the young ladies that I dealt with in my past, in my adolescent years, and they were telling me how the love that I was giving them, how it made them feel. And how it made them feel neglected, and how it made them feel like I deceived them or I manipulated them or womanized. It made me feel so bad that I asked God to show me how to love, because I didn't know how. The example of love that was set for me to follow was wrong. So a lot of us right now, while we are in relationships where we're just existing, we're not living. A lot of us have chased a moment. Like a lot of us have fell in love with a moment. Like this person has just been so opposite of the person that hurt you that you just think that this person is your knight in shining armor, or you think that this is your queen. A lot of times, man, we get into a friendship, a relationship, or a situationship, and we keep chasing the same moment that attracted us to them. And we think that's love. No, that's not love. A lot of us have committed to a relationship out of lust, because that person made you feel good in a moment. That man put his arms around you and he hugged you so tight because daddy didn't do it. Daddy didn't tell you how much he loved you. So every man that comes to your life that shows you some attention, that listens to you, when you communicate, or listens to when you venting, and then says those magic words, I love you, you fall for him. Why? Because you didn't get the proper love from your dad. Men, some of our mothers, they treated us like kings, and they didn't make us earn our kingship. Some of our mothers have spoiled us so rotten that we're out here in society looking for women to replace our mom. That's not love. That's not love. Women, this is the reason why I stress to you. Yes, your son is a king, but make him earn his kingship. Don't give him every single thing because you feel guilty about the man that you chose to be his father. Because the man that you chose to be his father doesn't want to be in the kid's life, you feel guilty about the man that you chose. So every time your son throws a fit that his father is supposed to fix, you go buy him things. Oof. You cannot fix a young man's brokenness with gifts. You can't do it. You can't do it. All you're going to do is make him be a dependent. Yes, your son is a king. You treat him like a king, but you make him earn his kingship. And I promise you, he will appreciate it later on. Some of you are going to be victims of the way that you raise your child. And you're going to be spending the rest of your life trying to fix something that you could have nipped in the bud in the beginning. Now, again, I can't lay the blame on us. I can't just say that it's all our fault, because this thing comes from years and years and years of generational curse. This thing comes from years and years and years and years of overlooking certain situations or overlooking actions or condoning certain things. It comes from years and years and years before us, right? So at the end of the day, we have to, this generation here, if we don't do anything about the generational curse in our families, it's not going to get done. Because the generation that's coming behind us, they don't even care. You know why? As long as they have a phone, a cellular device, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, IG, as long as they got that in their hand, they don't even care why their family don't get together. They don't even care about who their cousins and who they are. So they don't care about none of that. The children today, they don't care about anything else but what's on their cellular device. They don't care. Nah. So if we don't correct it, if we don't get a hold on it and we don't correct it, it's not going to get done. Years and years of the footwork and the hard work that grandma and granddad put in, the generations before us, it's going to go right down the drain. Because we have to stop overlooking the fact that there is so many loveless households out here into society, amongst our community. So many loveless households because we actually don't know how. And it's sad that, in all actuality, some of us don't know how to love. But it's even worse when you don't know how to receive love. When you don't know how to receive love, you sabotage every friendship, every relationship, every, associate. You sabotage everything because anything that feels genuine, anything that's genuine to you, right? You're going to sabotage it because it's something that you haven't been used to. This isn't the love that you're used to. When it's genuine, you're not used to genuine. You're used to people just using you at that time and going on about their business. I'm going to say this to you again. If you haven't been properly loved by your mom and your dad or your peers, it's a good chance that you're walking through life right now not knowing how to love and not knowing how to receive love. And if it's either one of those two, you're going to continue to be responsible for somebody else's pain, or you're going to be responsible for your own. Because a lot of times when we get someone into our life that loves us genuinely and unconditionally, we sabotage it because it's foreign. It doesn't feel good. Even though it's all good, but it doesn't feel good because this is not the love that I was taught. This is not the love that I've seen. This is not the love that I'm used to. And this is not the way that I'm used to loving. So right now, check yourself right now. Ask yourself this question. Have I been the reason why my relationships have failed? Am I actually teaching my child the way to love? Am I teaching my child the way grandma and granddaddy love, or am I teaching them the way I've learned to love? And ask yourself, do I really know how? Do I really know how to love? Do I really know how to receive love? And if your answer to any of those questions to yourself is no, you got to get into those scriptures. You got to get into those scriptures. You got to get into your prayer closet, and you got to ask God. You got to ask God to show you, because that's what I did. I'm telling you what I did. Again, everything that I'm saying is strictly my opinion. When I read those letters from those women that I've hurt, I asked God to show me how to be a man, show me how to be a father, show me how to be a provider, show me these things, but Lord, I need to show me through the scriptures so I know that it's right. Because the way that I'm living, from the results of my thought process and my actions, it's all been wrong. It's all been wrong. So I didn't want to be responsible for anybody else's pain. I didn't want nobody else say, yeah, Gucci a good guy, but he hurt me. He broke my heart. I didn't want that. I didn't want that anymore. So now that I realized that the way I've been taught to love was wrong, I had to fix it because I wanted to do it right. And now I'm able to understand love. Now I'm able to give proper love. And now I'm able to receive it. But I'm also still learning, because love is not just no small word. Loving someone is probably the hardest thing that you're ever going to have to do. Receiving love from someone is probably the hardest thing that you're ever going to have to do. It's going to challenge your change. But at the end of the day, life isn't worth living if you don't have the love. Life isn't worth living if you don't have the love. I don't never want to walk through the rest of my life not receiving the love that I truly desire. I don't want to walk through the life not being able to give my children the love that they desire. Not being able to, love my family members, my friends, my loved ones. I don't want to walk through life loveless. I don't want to walk through life with these question marks over my head saying, is this the way to love? Am I receiving the love? Am I loving her the right way? Am I loving my friend the right way? I don't want to do that. So I've been taught how to love. And the crazy part about it is that every person that you meet in your life, it's a possibility that you have to love them different. You can't love the person the same exact way. Sometimes you're going to have to love with humility. Sometimes you're going to have to show tough love. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to love in order to differentiate the two. Some of y'all have said, oh, this is my man, or this is my friend. And you give them the love that this is my man, and you give them the love too early. You don't make them earn your friendship. Like, my friend and love has been used so recklessly now in society. It's been used recklessly. People don't even have to work for your trust anymore. People don't even have to work for love anymore. Like, how can you love somebody in 30 days? How can somebody become your best friend in 30 days? It takes years, man, to really get to understand someone. It takes years to really get to a place where you really actually know someone. So again, ask yourself this question. Do you really know how to love? What example of love am I following? And do I even know how to be loved? And the crazy part about it, some of you don't even have a desire to love anyone, and some of you don't even have a desire to be loved. And that's because the way you've been taught. That's because of experiences that you've been through in your life. That's a whole different conversation, but at the end of the day, do you have a desire to love? Do you have a desire to learn how to love the right way? Do you want to be loved? Do you want to be loved the right way? The way that you need to be loved versus the way that you want? That's a tough question. So again, I just want to give you food for thought. I want to provoke thought. When you answer those questions, right? When you answer those questions to yourself, things should start to change. Because if you don't know how, there's only one person that can teach you, and that's God. That's it. So again, signing off. I love y'all, man, always and forever. Man, I appreciate the love and support that you continuously give me. I appreciate you just taking out the time just to hear my voice. But everything that I speak is inspired by the Spirit of God. And for those who were with me last Tuesday at the Tinderbox, I really appreciate you. Appreciate your love and support. I will be there again tomorrow, my pre-birthday celebration. I love y'all again, man. I can't stress that. Start y'all day off right. Start y'all week off right. But start y'all week off with a little bit of love. God bless. JB, Jules and John.